One. Hello, race fans, and we are back with another Race Face Drive-In 5 podcast here on raceface.tv. Jacob Seelman, as always, in the host chair on the right. To my left is Colton Kelly, who I am very jealous of right now because you are in a much more hospitable vacation location than where I am. Before we talk about race cars, you guys rented a boathouse and you get to spend a little bit of time fishing this week before you get to strap back in, put the helmet on. And I imagine this is just a nice couple of days for you to kind of decompress and get your mind back right again, isn't it?
It's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So, out of curiosity, where are you and how is the weather?
I'm in Venice, Louisiana. It's probably going to start raining here in a couple of minutes, but
In other words, you're on the Gulf and it's fairly pretty compared to if people could see behind me, there's all sorts of black
mhm.
clouds and it's getting ready to rain again in the Charlotte area. So we'll just ignore
I'm
that part.
actually like on the tip. I'm on the tip of Mississippi,
Okay. You
so
could you
I'm right near the mouth of Mississippi.
I was gonna say you could wave across to Mississippi and Cole Denton could probably holler back at you because
Probably.
he's right near there too. All
hmm
seriousness though, you have been out of the seat for a little while. Good news is you have a planned return to the race car this weekend. Your pro truck is finally back in all its glory, and I know you are more than ready to get back racing this weekend at Mobile International Speedway. Have you been pretty antsy waiting this out? I imagine you've been just as if this has gotten closer, getting more and more and more eager to be back at the racetrack.
Absolutely. I'm excited to go racing. It's been such a long time. I need to go racing.
It's been almost 2 months, which is just about unheard of between all the quarter midget racing you've done and obviously had plans for the month of May that did not necessarily involve having to put your truck all back together. I know you guys have put a lot of sunk a lot of work into it, and I imagine now that it's back from the shop, you've been able to look it over. What have you guys been doing once you got the truck back to get ready for this weekend? Has it just been kind of maintenance before the vacation days? You feel pretty confident that everything's how you guys want it to be?
Yes, everything we think everything is going to be good. We're going to get some new shocks, so it might help me race a little bit better. It might have some more speed, but other than that, we should be good. We actually got a new gear too, which might help me as well. But we feel very confident with the truck right now.
Nice, nice. That's good to hear. You mentioned to me just before we started recording that even though you've been out of the real seat, you have spent probably more hours than you'd care to admit on this episode on iRacing. Just trying to keep your skills sharp. What's that been like? Is there any particular car track combination that you've just had fun with over the past little bit? And what skills have you been focusing on while you've been out of the seat?
Not really any particular thing. I just need to race. It's if I go a week without racing, if I go back that next week without doing any kind of practice, anything, I'm absolutely horrible at the track. And it takes me a while to get used to it. And then once I get used to it, I'm fine. But again, it's if I don't do any kind of thing prepping me for the race, I'm not good that first test session.
Hey, it's understandable. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there that I know will applaud that energy, that get up and go that you've got, that drive to just want to be in the seat, wanting to have reps, wanting to be successful. And you actually have back to back to back weeks this month where you're planned to be in the seat. You've got Mobile this coming weekend, Five Flags in Pensacola for a Friday night show on the 13th, and then the following Saturday, you're at Mobile again. Are you excited? Because this is the first time that you're going to have that kind of consistency to be in the truck 3 straight weekends, which I know, kind of like you alluded to, is something that you've really needed this year as you've been learning the pro truck.
Absolutely. I'm dying to get in the truck. I'll definitely be in my zone that second, third race. The first test session, we're gonna actually practice on that Friday. But the first test session, I might not be all that well. But that second test session and on, I'll be perfect.
So I'm curious. Take me back a little bit. I know you've had some time to kind of think through everything that happened back in April. What do you feel like, whether it's mentally or just in general, that you've kind of either learned or just taken away from the situation that you found yourself in? Not, not necessarily anything you did wrong that led to the crash, just kind of as they say, you don't know what you don't know until you're in kind of a tough situation like you were.
Absolutely. I try not to think about anything. I just try to prepare myself and go through what I could have done better that race and not focus on what happened. Yes, we're going to be mad at the situation. We're not going to be mad at anybody. It's just what happened.
For sure.
But I need to go back and take away like my qualifying wasn't that great. I probably if I qualified a little bit better, I wouldn't even had that situation. It's those kind of things that make a good race car driver a better race car driver. You
For
have
sure.
to prepare yourself from not making that situation happen again, if that makes any sense.
Oh, absolutely. And I guess to simplify it down a little bit, just one of those cases where maybe just you were, I don't want to say you were uneasy being in traffic, but a lot of different feelings with all the dirty air and things that maybe you were experiencing for the first time because of that qualifying effort.
Absolutely. It was a whole laundry list of things that happened and account for what happened on my wreck. So,
What I know you always like to set the bar high, but how do you approach your goals for the weekend for this first race at Mobile in particular, knowing that, like you said, you've got at least a couple of practice sessions to get back in your rhythm, and from there it's got to be what, one step at a time, I feel like for you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Where do you set that bar for yourself, or what do you feel like you can do with your expectations for Saturday?
Right now, it's pretty low. For the test session, I really need to focus in and make sure everything is going well and nothing's going wrong. Like I said, like if there's anything that I can do better, I need to
Mhm.
do better to
I
order
s-
to win races.
and I suppose that comes back to too. Obviously, you've got the car back from the repairs that you needed, but you've not actually driven it yet with the repairs, so it's hard to know or assume you know how it felt before, but there's no guarantee, as they say, that it's going to feel exactly the same this time, is there?
No, if something breaks on your truck or your car or anything, it's not going to be the same. But I did actually drive it into the trailer, but that was about it. I
Right.
maybe sat in it for 5 minutes and drove it for 2 minutes.
It's
So
not
I
been at
won't
race.
know
It's not
until
been at race pace.
no, it we I have no clue. We won't know until Friday.
I am curious, real quick, just to going back to the fact that you're on a boathouse, and we are in the first month of June. Are you officially wrapped with school for the summer? Do you at least not have that stress hanging over you for a couple of months now?
No, I still got to do. I'm doing summer school for
Oh,
my
so
new school that I'm going to.
so,
So
so
no,
even
I'm still
I was
doing
gonna
school.
say, even when you think you're out of school, you're not out of school. But
Yeah.
hey, that's also big for you because I know it allows you to get ahead so that there can be times where you can focus more on the race car when you have to.
Absolutely. Well, the reason why I'm doing summer school is so I can free up my schedule for high school.
There
So
you go.
it's a whole schedule thing for
It
summer school.
hey, but that's planning ahead, which a lot of kids at your age maybe don't realize is a big thing in what we do. So no, a lot of
Absolutely.
props to you for that. Um,
Thank you.
Real quickly, Colton, obviously sponsors, supporters, a lot has gone into getting you ready to be back at the racetrack this weekend. Who do you need to give a shout out to before we get you going?
Pave America, Southern Protection Agency, Southern Drywall, everybody that's helped me out. My mom, my dad, the Lord, everybody. This couldn't come together without anybody on board.
I know you're excited. We're excited for you. And going into this weekend, it's going to be a bit of a learning moment. I know you know that, but it's also going to be, I think, a lot of positives come out of this one for you, Colton. So we're
It's
excited
gonna be
for
a
you.
big reset for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? Sometimes at your stage of the game, that's what it takes, and you end up coming out of a reset that much stronger.
Absolutely.
So always a pleasure to have you on, buddy. Enjoy the last few days of your vacation, and we're hopeful that anybody who heads out to the track at Mobile on Saturday can check in with you guys. Wish you luck, and we wish you well as well.
All right, thank you, Jacob.
All right, that's Colton Kelly. My name's Jacob Seelman. This has been Raceface Drive-In 5. We'll be back next time with another episode here on raceface.tv. Stay tuned every day for all the latest, not just from our Raceface drivers, but everywhere from around the world of motorsports.